Bourbon. Belts. Blockbusters. You are listening to the Triple B Podcast. Let's fucking go.
Welcome back to the Triple B Podcast, Bourbon Belts and Blockbusters. I'm Ryan. We're back, another episode. We're rocking some bourbon that I'm excited to try because I don't know what it is yet. Talking wrestling, talking movies, shows, all fun things.
Hell yeah. Welcome back. All right. It is my caching, and of course you could catch that on our socials, our TikTok, our Instagram, our stories, and whatnot. Please check it out.
And our YouTube channel.
So, the caching here is a red bottle, and it's called the Pendleton Straight Bourbon Aged 10 Years.
Pendleton.
Yeah.
We haven't had Pendleton once on this show.
No.
That's kind of crazy.
So, saw 10 year. I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot.
I like the sound of it.
Picked it up from the old Safeway, and it was on sale for $42.99.
Ooh.
Bourbon on a budget.
Bourbon on a budget. We love that.
We got a small blurb on the back of here. It's called, crafted as a tribute to the ruggedness of the West, this 10-year-old bourbon is robust in flavor and cut to 90 proof with Mount Hood glacier-fed spring water. Named in honor of the inaugural year of the Pendleton Roundup, the legendary outdoor rodeo held in Oregon for over a century, Pendleton 1910 bourbon celebrates the rich legacies of true Western tradition. And that's the blurb. Doesn't give us no flavor.
No flavor, so
we're on our own.
Shooting blind on this one.
All right.
It's not our specialty, but we'll see what we can do.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Fill me up.
More. There you go.
I like it. All right, here we go.
All right.
Here
We're going to give that the old...
Look at the legs on that bitch. Cheers, brother. Let's do it.
Dude.
Fuck yeah, Pendleton.
It just goes
Let's
down
go.
smooth.
That was so smooth.
That just...
Oh my God. I've had some
Hardly
good,
a
I've had some
burn.
good Pendletons too. Pendleton Midnight was one of my
I
favorite
haven't
things
tried
for a while.
wow.
That is good. Real good mouthfeel on her. Real
Very
Really?
subtle. And but you can feel it just
Really
warming
coats.
up the
Yeah.
esophagus.
Yeah, it's just real warms. I feel like I could hit like a nice right after that. You know what I mean? It's so, that's good.
All right, what do you rate it?
Hercules. I'm going 9. I'm gonna do a 9 on her.
I'm going to do a 9.5.
All right.
It's really smooth.
Really smooth. Good taste, good flavor profile. I don't know how to explain the flavor profile because we're not good at that. But
but there's a good flavor to it,
very
right?
On the tip of the tongue, it's bourbon.
Yeah.
And then as it goes over the tongue, it's bourbon. Down the throat, bourbon. I love it. Super good.
9.5.
Yeah, 9.5. Let's go.
It's gonna be a nice
solid
sipping.
9.25 average.
Yeah.
That's
That's
an
a good
average
one.
isn't that fun when it's only 2 of us.
Yeah. Makes it easy.
Does make that math really simple.
That brings us to the socials. You can find us on Instagram, X, YouTube, TikTok. We are at Triple Pod.
Darn
You
tootin'.
can find us on Spotify, Apple, and Amazon. We are the Triple B Podcast, Bourbon Belts and Blockbusters.
Yeet.
And you can shoot us an email at triplebpod619@gmail.com.
Yeet.
Love to get any feedback. Give us ideas of bourbons you would like us to try. Share our info with everyone. And yeah, let's get social.
Let's get social. We're back. We got another edition of our weekly fact check from the previous episode. This week, it is my fact check, which is very fitting and very suiting since last week's episode was Timmy rocking it solo because I was on a little weekend getaway with the family. Short and sweet episode. It was like 38 minutes long. So as you can assume, you didn't fuck up very much. There was not there. I don't think. Let me re-look at my notes here. I don't think there's an actual single fact to check.
All right, I like it.
It was really just like there's only really one thing that I'm even really commenting on specifically from your like the actual episode itself.
Okay.
Like that was like an actual thing that you were talking about. The other two things were really just about the wellness journey. God damn. My brain stopped working there for a second. So the one and only actual thing was we were talking about Red Hood and Miss I almost said Miss Dagger, Miss Marvel, because I was thinking that Red Hood was in that because I was like, I feel like we've seen that character before, and you were like, you looked and you were like, the Red Hood wasn't in there, but there was a character named Red Dagger. That's who I was thinking of 100% because you had said you were like, so Ryan, when you get back, maybe let us know if that's what you were thinking. Yeah. That is who I was thinking was Red Dagger and not Red Hood. You can see how I could have gotten those so easily confused. So, but that was who I was thinking of 100%. And so, yeah, that was that one. The only other two things I really said on this was fuck yes to where you're at, dude, when it comes to the wellness, the wellness journey. 228, you broke that 230 barrier, and you were like 233 or 234 or something like that the time before that. So like 6 solid pounds. That's fucking awesome, dude. I'm so stoked for you. You're 18 pounds from, as of last week, 18 pounds from the target goal. We're fucking cruising, man. I had texted you that where I was like before I left on the trip, and you use your phone to record, so you didn't have that information at hand. So yeah, I was I think 212.9 the previous wellness check-in. I had fluctuated up like a half pound or something because I was 212.4 before that or whatever. And then last weekend was down pound and a half. I was 211.4, which means I'm only 1.4 pounds from the good old target. So
sweet.
We'll see how this week of solid workouts that we both got in this week, and then hopefully stay on track with this next week and see where we're at.
Hell yeah.
Belt's question last week was the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Blockbusters question, because you had just texted me and said, hey, because the fact check's going to be quick, maybe talk on that.
Yeah, so the Belt's question was
a
match
video
that
game.
had all the build-up.
Oh, yeah, Belt's question, sorry. The match had all the build-up that
didn't live up to it.
Didn't live up to it, and as soon as I read that on the agenda before you even filmed last week, the same match that you said, I feel like that's probably most real wrestling fans match for that answer, right? Like, that was probably like the biggest one because it's two, like you said, of the fucking just huge stars at that point. And it was just
garbage,
utter shit. And so like the only silver lining in that was the fact that Stone Cold was the referee and hit them both with stunners and everything, and pretty much gave them like a fuck you swift kick in the ass on both their way out of the company, right? Yeah. So that was easily the number one match in my mind for that question as well. So
and then the Blockbusters question was what video game would you like to see done into a movie? Yeah,
and what's funny is one that I would have had you asked this 8 months ago, it would have been the biggest video game movie that's out currently, and that is Minecraft.
Yeah.
And so like that was the first thing, and then I was like, oh fuck, that's right. There's a Minecraft movie out right now, and it's like fucking hitting, like it's like breaking records. Yeah. Right. And that was one that you hadn't mentioned on the show either, in like saying the ones that are out. You saw like Super Mario Bros, Sonic and Mortal Kombat. And there's Minecraft, which is huge, and I haven't seen it yet. I really want to. But yeah, because I love that game. Another one that I think would be really fucking cool would be Ark.
Oh,
Ark Survival Evolved, or now Ark Survival Ascended. It's just a really cool concept of a game because you like when you make your character and then you like load into the game, you just like essentially wash up on the shore of this island and you're in a loincloth. You have nothing else, and it's literally just a full blown like you're just hunting and you're scavenging for materials. You're like breaking down. You're like getting some stuff to make like a fucking wood and stone pickaxe, axe. Like all these things, and then you're like getting supplies and materials and. You're taming animals, and it's dinosaurs, and there's all sorts of other animals and stuff too. But then it eventually like works up to the point where you're in like a fucking Iron Man tech suit with all this tech stuff. But it's just a cool concept of a game, and it's a super fun game. Where me and my brothers and our buddies, we have spent probably fucking hundreds of hours at this point playing this game since COVID, and it's super fun. And I know that there's like a cartoon show or maybe movie or something that they put out, but I want like live action. I think there's a lot of cool concepts that you could do with this, because there's also a ton of different maps that they've put out for the game too. So there's a lot of different options of things that you could have for it. So nice. I think that was like outside of Minecraft, that was like the first one that came to my mind. So
nice.
I would go with that. But yeah, that's it. That's all for the fact check and kind of me catching back up off the questions from last week.
Perfect.
Moving into belts.
It just
Timmy?
has a better ring with
two
voices.
Of us. Yeah, it's a little harmony.
Yeah.
It's harmony. We got like boys to men.
Yeah.
Right.
Men to boys.
And sometimes
sometimes
it's just we're just boys be boys.
Boys be boys.
Boys be boys. Sometimes the men's never happens. We're children at heart.
Always and forever.
Speaking of which, Timmy, what do you want to talk about?
Well, I'm going to talk about Raw this week. And first of all, just a quick blurb. This isn't a talking point, but your boys, Two Bears, One Cave, right? That's the show. They were on Monday Night Raw.
Tom Segura, Bert Kreischer. Yes, they were. I also read
with
some
his shirt off.
Always. That's how he does. I also read some stuff that there were a lot of wrestlers and staff members that were just not too happy with the fact that they were there. Or
oh, really?
Tom Segura has on his multiple different podcast shows over the years has talked a lot of shit about wrestling, professional wrestling, and. Bert Kreischer was on Raw like 2 months ago or something like that.
Yeah, it was recently.
Yeah. Not too long ago. And then like shortly after they did that, they were back together on their show, because they both have they're both crazy busy. So when one's gone, they have a different person on with them. And they were talking about Bert being there, and then he like talked Tom into being like, "Hey, dude, you should next time they're near us, we should go." You should bring your boys. Like they would have a blast, and like you would have fun. And they had Cody on their podcast like before Bert was even.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
I think like some things had changed for Tom, but like perspective wise, and was like he's gone from, oh, that shit's fucking stupid, and I'm pretty sure he's called it gay, and like just all sorts of stuff, because it's really no holds barred with them. They're stand-up comedians.
Yeah.
To being like, oh, like I think he actually does kind of like have respect for what they do, just understanding that like these guys, they're actors.
Yeah.
Like legitimately, they're stuntmen, essentially. They're stuntmen and women. Like that's pretty much what they do. They're actors that put their body through all this shit. Nobody's actually fighting there. It's not real. We all know that. Yeah. And you know what I mean? And so I think he kind of was able to shift mindset, but I guess there were still a lot of people that were just like rubbed the wrong way.
Yeah.
And thinking like also that like the only reason why they're there getting that spotlight on the show is because they're both in really tight with Netflix.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of stuff, but anyways, I thought it was cool, cause I really like both of them. I love their show and all their stand up and movies and stuff that they have. Yeah. Getting ready to watch Bad Thoughts, Tom Segura's Netflix series. Right.
So,
but yeah.
Nice.
Anyways.
Okay, on to my real talking points.
Yes.
I just thought I'd shout that out for you. I have a qualm. I'm going to start it off with a qualm.
Uh-oh.
How does Liv get to come back lose a match to Kairi Sane, and get put into a qualifier match next week. I'm not saying that Kairi Sane should be put in that match because she already lost the week before, but she goes away for a few weeks to go film her movie and then gets put into a qualifier after losing a match. That rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah.
And she should really be defending the tag titles because those haven't been defended in over a month and not since the night after WrestleMania when they won them back. So it's just like,
breathe, Tim.
the tag titles are just...
I know you're angry. You have to breathe.
They're non-existent, really. Like, why have them anymore? It's stupid.
Seriously, it really is. The women's tag titles are...
They're the worst title.
They are. They're legitimately the worst title.
Followed by the Raw tag titles. Now, currently.
Yeah, literally 2 of the 3 tag titles are pretty much useless.
Yeah.
So
I just...
They're pointless.
It rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah, I agree.
Granted, it's great to have Liv back.
Absolutely.
I'm excited for her back. She does bring... I'm not going to be upset when I see the match next week, but it's just, why does she get to be in that qualifier after losing? Just make it make sense storyline-wise to me. That's all. Yeah.
No, I mean, I agree, but it's also like, I feel like I do kind of see the other side of it of just like, Liv is, arguably the biggest female performer in wrestling right now. Give or take a couple people, but like she's right there at the top, you know. And so like I get that she's been away, she comes back, put her in the qualifier. She shouldn't have lost the match last week. I think that's the issue. Is Kairi Sane has no business beating Liv Morgan. Now, granted, their storyline that they're building with the continuous fucking obnoxiously long fucking drawn out Judgment Day breakup that is hopefully going to fucking happen soon.
I don't know if it will. Now I think they're just going to rotate members in and out. Like the group is going to stay together.
It's just so confusing though.
It's just going to rotate.
But okay. And what I mean by the Judgment Day breakup, I guess, is the removal of Dom and Liv and them from Finn.
Yeah.
That separation, I guess, is more or less what I'm saying. And then and obviously the Roxanne Perez angle now is building that more. So I get that, but then I also get like the timing of it all looks weird, and so I do agree with what you're saying. It's weird to have her be gone for 3 weeks or whatever it was since the last time we saw her, and then come back and it's she loses and then
gets rewarded.
Gets rewarded. Yeah. So
Jey Uso. Fantastic promo.
Absolutely fantastic.
It was a good back and forth between Gunther and Jey this time, but I just love when Jey Uso gets serious, and it was just he took Gunther's verbal beating. You're not a great champion. You're just basically a transitional champion is what he was saying, and then Jey says, "You done?" Because I'm done with everyone. Like
I loved it.
I'm gonna be the champion,
and I love that. I love
make
that
your ass tap.
I know. I was just gonna say I love that he doubled down on that and not just beat you. He's going to tap to submit Gunther again. Yeah, which is like that's even more personal. You know what I mean? Because like I feel like just in general, a submission is more personal than just a 1, 2, 3. Yeah, right. Like there's more to that. Yeah. And I totally agree. And I think like when Jey gets serious and his ability and the fans' reaction now is great because he'll say something and they'll yeet and he literally goes, like this, and like the fan base knows, okay, we're done. Because nobody yeeted again after that. Yeah. And he's done that a couple times over the last few weeks where he'll be like trying to be serious and he now has that control and that hold over them. Which is super impressive. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's the respect, I think. It's the respect from the fan base to Jey Uso. So anyone still on about, he's a garbage champ, he shouldn't be there, you're fucking wrong. Yeah. He is proving you wrong every fucking day that he's carrying this belt around.
I mean, the crowd loves him.
Absolutely.
I think I do think that match with Seth really helped like 100%. Catapult him because
he's just been flying high since.
Just had a rocket to it since. But just gonna make you tap. Mr. Usi's back.
Hell yeah!
All right, I can't stop talking about them Lyra and Becky.
I know. I was waiting for it. I know.
I cannot stop talking about it. There was two things about this one. When Lyra first came out and was like, she's begging for a title shot. Like, I was ready for new contenders. But she was the one that attacked Becky the previous week. So
true.
She wasn't really done.
Yeah.
But then when she switched it into like, you made this personal, took jabs at each other's significant other, it really just got cooking again. And then Becky comes out and is just like, I'm making you relevant, making that title relevant. And she's not wrong. Like
100%. 100%.
It literally
Lyra would not be in the spot she's in right now if it was not for Becky Lynch turning on her the night after WrestleMania.
Exactly. But I love that the announcers are feeding into it, because that match at Backlash was a banger. It was toasted.
It was,
and now they're saying it again.
This could steal the show.
Which they deserve it.
And that's we were saying. I think I am the one that said that specifically on the pre-show to Backlash.
Yeah,
was saying that like I think it could potentially steal the show. Mm-hmm. And while we were watching it, it was like it's fucking up there, but it was stacked against a pretty hefty card.
Yes,
this could legitimately steal the show at Backlash or at fucking Money in the Bank now.
Yeah,
like it could legitimately steal the show because the card's good. Mm-hmm. But it's not the Backlash card.
No.
It's two Money in the Bank matches, which are always going to be fucking, spotlights.
You kind of separate that.
Exactly. And you know what to expect in that now. Like, there's always going to be something where we're like, holy fucking shit, that was creative. They did something cool. But it's also at the same time, like, how many more things can you truly do that's mind blowing? Yeah. You know what I mean? And then we have the tag match. Between Jay and Cody and Cena Logan, and what else has been? I'm trying to think. What else has even been?
I think that's
it's four
matches so far. I can't.
That's the only things actually.
Can't think of anything else yet.
But yeah, so I mean, there's that, right? So it's are none of the women's world titles being defended at?
No.
Crazy.
Io's not defending, and
Neither's
Tiffy's
Tiffy.
not. Yeah, she doesn't got a contender.
That's kind of wild. So none of the world titles are being defended at.
Okay,
because the WWE and the World Heavyweight are in the tag match together.
Yeah, so. And World Heavyweight's about to get defended on
the Monday after.
Raw.
Yeah. So interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So four solidified matches, and
I'm assuming we'll get one more.
I would assume too, but I'm thinking. I mean, right now it's looking to me like that women's IC match
could steal.
That might be the most anticipated one. Yeah, I don't know. So
it is for me. The only thing I didn't like I don't like the stipulation. Like Becky loses, she doesn't challenge for the title as long as Lyra has it, and then if Becky wins, Lyra has to raise the hand. I thought where it was going to be a submission match, and I was excited for that.
Oh yeah,
that would have been great. I thought that's where when she started talking about the arm, I was like, oh, we're going submission match, and we haven't seen one of those
it's true.
in a long time. And
how cool would it have been to see it between those two for the women's IC?
Yeah,
that would have been sick.
Just make it big, but
that would have been
That was my only complaint about it all. They're doing it right. They're just on another level right now. The IC feels big.
Yeah, and I do like I get what you're saying, and I agree to a point. I also, on the other side of it, I do feel like the stipulations at least make sense.
Yeah,
right. Like it's not just like a random, like they're not like, oh, fucking title on a pole match or some fucking bullshit, right? It does make sense with the stipulation, right? Because for Becky, it's the respect thing. Mm-hmm. So when I beat you, you're gonna raise my hand.
Yeah,
and you're gonna give me my due respect.
Yeah,
right. And then for Lyra, it's you're Becky Hogan. You're coming back. You're trying to squash talent. You're here just to get a leg up on everybody and get the title. So if I beat you, you can't come for this again while I have it. So it does make sense.
Yeah,
but
for sure does.
Is there other options that could have made this even better? Yes.
Yeah.
But I do at least it makes sense.
Yeah.
For the storyline and the build up to it.
100%. Yeah. Last thing, Seth and his vision or his power trip, whatever he's going to call this group. They opened up the show. Paul Heyman basically reintroduces this group, which I like because it feels solidified now. I mean, maybe another person joins, but this feels like a solidified core group. And so Paul Heyman going, reintroducing Breaker, saying he's going to main event Mania after Mania. He's comes from a bloodline of badasses, was just really cool. And then what I really liked was just him talking about Bronson Reed and making it make sense why Seth and him would be teaming up, because there's a violent history between them. And it makes perfect sense the way he sold it.
Absolutely loved it. It was great because I had the same thoughts where I was like, well, this is kind of, I like it, but it's also kind of like, what the fuck? Because it was out of left field. Bronson Reed coming out because out at Saturday Night's Main Event. Yeah. It was like, what the fuck? This is, and it was one of those where I was like, oh, he's just going to clean house.
Yeah.
But and then Braun Breaker's like up at him, and then Seth just hugs him, and I was like, what the fuck? What is going on right now? So then for that, it was perfect. Paul Heyman's fucking perfect. He's amazing. There's nothing
he's
that
a salesman.
There's nothing that dude does that's wrong.
Exactly.
I think he might understand the world of wrestling better than any living individual person.
Oh, I 100% agree with that.
Honestly, it's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah.
He has a hand in I would be willing to bet every single one of the biggest stars right now. He has a hand in their character work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that is just fucking, he's amazing.
Yeah. So he goes on to just say, there's only been one man to take Seth Rollins out long term, and that was Bronson Reed. So just really like that.
Yeah.
And then Seth gets on the mic and he plays puppeteer like none. He is so good on that mic, and he gets them singing his song. He gets them booing, and then gets them cheering for him again. Like, it's just, he has a way to toy with the crowd.
It's
and
so true.
I was lost in his promo. It was so good. And then you fast forward to the main event of the show. Seth Rollins wins after a lot of shenanigans going on in the ring.
I was actually surprised by. I did not. If I would have picked anyone to not win that match, it would have been Seth.
I didn't think so either.
Like 100%, I would have been like, there's no shot that Punk's letting that happen.
They did a great job making me feel like Sammy was going to win.
I know.
Same. I thought Finn was going to win, and just because of everything going on.
That was my initial, I was like, that, like, they're going to put Finn in the Money in the Bank, and I kind of like that. For the total side note, little tangent here, I'll keep it short and sweet. What if Finn would have won that match, wins the Money in the Bank, and cashes in on Dom for the IC? That was where my mind went originally. I was like, fuck, this could be kind of cool, because we've never seen a Money in the Bank cash in on a lesser title.
We did
the NXT, right?
There was
it
Austin Theory didn't do it for a world heavyweight title. I think
it was for the US.
I think it was for the US or IC. It was a lesser title.
Oh, okay. Well,
because he kept on going after Roman. And
that might have been in the time frame where I wasn't really paying attention to wrestling that much.
Right before the good stuff was happening.
It was before we started the podcast, which is really what got me fully back into watching wrestling. So to my knowledge, it hadn't happened. But if it did, whatever. But still, like, that would have been bigger than that. Yeah. Right? So it still would have been like it would have been cool. And so that's where I was like, oh, fuck, they're going to have Finn win this. I kind of like that. And it makes sense with Sammy and Seth and that whole feud. And, but so for Seth to win this, I was like, oh, shit. And as soon as Dom slid the fucking chair in, which I like now, too, because that's just going to cause more friction between him and Finn, which is perfect. So, like, my angle of that still kind of is set up in a way. Yeah. But as soon as he slid the chair in, I was like, every time Dom gets involved, it backfires. So this isn't going to happen. And then he crawled over and I was like, oh, he's getting curb stomped onto the fucking chair. And that's going to be it.
It was a vicious one,
God,
too.
It was. He ate that. It was, fuck, man.
But, I mean, Seth winning, it feels right. I mean, he's going to dangle all the strings that he can to make sure he gets that world heavyweight title. And so I like how much story is kind of is similar to the Royal Rumble, where there's just a lot of brood story going on between some of the competitors. And if CM Punk makes it into it this Monday,
Yeah.
I could believe there's going to be some brutal beatdowns going on there.
Yeah.
So I like that part of it. So
Yeah. And I know we were talking before the show started and whatnot that I was saying, like, CM Punk's got to win that match, right? And you were like, I don't know if Seth's group's going to let that happen, but Sammy could very well come out to help Punk make that match. Now,
That's true.
you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
they came out and essentially cost Sammy the opportunity.
Yeah.
So they come out to try to cost Punk. Now they're going to have Sammy come out.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's that option. So there's so many things.
My big hope for
Possibilities.
this is that they don't regurgitate the whole Drew Punk storyline of last year, where like if Seth wins it, CM Punk is just costing him the title. Like that's what happened with Punk and Drew last year. We don't need to see it again.
Yeah.
I hope
see
they
what you're saying.
rehash it differently.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with that. Moving over to SmackDown, I put down qualm.
We got
Not-
you
not-
got a
not-
qualm. I got a qualm.
I guess this isn't really a qualm because it's a little bit of this. It's a little bit of this.
Okay.
Okay. I wrote the opening segment / match was
Yeah.
Said, but at least for everything that we have said when it comes specifically to those three individuals, at least that qualifying match, they were all in together.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't separate those three into three different qualifying matches.
Agreed. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's where I was like, I can take this. If I got to live through all of this, have it be all at once. I'm good with that. Here's the up part. Because that's my qualm.
Okay.
Right? The up was at least where the beginning of the upward trajectory was at least we're getting it all at once. The climax of this talking point is, I don't know when the music change happened. This is how much I don't pay attention to Naomi. But this is the first time I've paid attention to her entrance music. Her entrance music's fucking sick.
Yeah. I like
Her
it.
new music is fucking dope.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of the best new music that we've had recently. Next to maybe Braun Breaker's new music.
I like Fraxium's new song.
Fraxium's is good
They're
too.
pretty
That's
good.
true. That's true. So
But yeah.
Fraxium's is probably the best newest one.
But there's
Because there's literally it was last week.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm assuming Naomi's music has been this for a little while, but I literally
It's
have
definitely-
I've contemplated, putting my head through my own wall usually when she comes out. So there's that. But I was like actually heard it this time, and I was like, fuck, this music's dope. That was Naomi. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, why? First, I haven't heard this, so I'm sure it's been a while, but that's how
Yeah.
much I don't pay attention to it.
It definitely, the Feel the Glow song does not fit her heel persona.
Yes,
so-
absolutely. So no, this music was perfect, and I feel like it does fit this persona great. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to put that out there because we have kind of shit on entrance themes a little
Yes,
bit
yes, we
here
have.
and there, and so I wanted to give credit where credit is due. Naomi's new music, like her, don't like her, whatever, is fucking sick, and I didn't not like her on SmackDown this week.
Yeah.
I thought it was solid. I think at first the whole like crying stuff originally I was just like annoyed by, but it's feeding into this like unhinged character, right? Because she went from like sobbing to talking shit and like laughing maniacally, and so
Yeah.
it's almost like this person, it's like a fucking Batman villain escaped from Arkham.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
for
or
sure.
or like Harry Potter from fucking Azkaban type of
Yeah.
person is just like into this unhinged fucking character. So I do feel like it might be growing on me a little bit.
Good.
We'll see. Her in-ring work, not necessarily always, but this match wasn't awful.
Yeah.
That had its moments, but it also had its moments.
I thought
But all around, I thought it was actually like it was solid. They did good for it being the three botch queens in the company in one match together. It was relatively botch free.
Yeah, I think the beginning of the match started off a little rough. And
Rough, but it cleaned up
It
and they
definitely
picked it
did.
up and there were definitely some. There was a
Naya's
moment in this match, Tim, where the crowd was chanting, "This is awesome."
Yeah.
I wouldn't go that far. Ever.
I was
However, don't think that's ever really been chanted for any of these three.
Yeah.
So, like, the fact that that was a thing it was like, all right, you got to give, again, credit where credit is due. Right?
Naya's been taking big risks, like
Naya?
second row. Yeah, Naya. Yeah, like
Dude, well, I mean,
and
just
it's looking
like her and
good.
like how many times has Tiffany Stratton turned, like, flipped over the fucking
Yeah.
body slam or whatever off the thing and turned it into a flipping thing? Yeah,
she
or
did like a super Samoan drop, the
yeah,
leg
that,
drop.
yeah.
I think that should be a finisher. Not the Annihilator does look devastating,
Yeah.
but it looks almost too devastating.
I know.
Sometimes.
It's
or
like
it can look really bad,
dangerous.
too.
Yeah.
Like the one she did to Jade was brutal last night.
Yeah, when Naomi got out of the
I was
way,
like,
but then it was immediately followed up by a fucking awful
know.
pin attempt.
I know.
I don't think it's necessarily anyone's like skill wise fault. It's just the fact that that Naya's so fucking big.
Yeah.
Right, so that it's hard for someone to do a, like, what do you call it, like a crucifix
Yeah, the
roll up or
crucifix
whatever.
roll up.
And so I was just like,
Yeah.
this is awkward.
It took a while to get there, but it's believable when it finally lands because Naya's big,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
she's folded in
exactly.
half.
Yeah.
So it's
So for
Like-
sure, and so yeah, just give credit where credit's due. The match itself wasn't bad. It was just kind of the opening segment. Like, I'm a fucking Bianca hater right now. I
Yeah.
can't fucking stand her when she's on her TV screens.
I want her to
There's
be
nothing good about her right now. It's all just the only reason she was even out there was to help set up Naomi, Nia, and Jade all being out there for that match, and because they were in Tennessee and she's from Tennessee.
Yeah.
Like, fucking Christ, dude. I want her to go heel. I want to get away just like we got away from Glow. I want to get away from this fucking dancing hair extension.
Yeah.
Like, get rid of the hair. Go heel, chop the hair off. That would be the number one fucking thing to be like, oh, this is different.
Yeah.
Right? This is a fucking on a pedestal. Not even one of my talking points. I'm just sick of it.
I think they should bring back like it was like GTV or something back then where it was just like backstage cam and show that Bianca was actually part of the whole Naomi and Jade thing and
There was a part of me where I thought we were gonna get
I
that.
thought so too.
When because like Jade and Bianca fucking stared each other down.
Yeah.
Where's the what's the bad blood between them? Because we haven't seen anything.
Exactly.
So what was that even about?
Yeah. I don't get it.
Yeah. There's
Sorry. Taking you away.
No, I fucking started that. It was still about the opening segment stuff, so it was still all that one talking point.
Yeah.
Next talking point. I don't know where this Wyatt 6 stuff's going, but I fucking love every second of it.
I love it too.
It's been great.
I love
I fucking love it. And like that's including that kind of random cryptic video message thing again, because there wasn't really anything said.
I think
within it wasn't like one of the ones we've gotten before where it's like him and Bo Dallas fucking, Uncle Howdy and Bo Dallas going back and forth, right? It sounded more like voiceover type things.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, like, but all of it is just, I'm fucking in, man. Like, It's got me hooked. Every fucking time you hear the and then the lights flicker and then they go out, I'm like, oh, because it's just fucking awesome. And the fact that the tag teams all were out there, like, not afraid. Mm-hmm. I think that was one of the things where it was like, fuck yeah. But then when they actually happens, they were all a little bit afraid.
Yeah.
And I think my absolute favorite thing of this entire segment, because this is going to lead to something. Mm-hmm. And if it doesn't, I will actually be like pissed. Why the fuck am I forgetting his name? Not Gargano, the other DIY. Ciampa. Tommaso Ciampa. He fucking pulled Candice LeRae into that fucking crossbody.
Yeah.
From Nikki Cross.
Yeah.
He pulled Gargano's wife in front of that. Something has to come from that. That can't just go unnoticed. There had to have happened for a reason. Mm-hmm. we might end up seeing at some point DIY break up again. I don't know.
We could.
That's a seed, right? That can't just be.
I don't know. A-Town Down Under is still together.
Fuck me, you're right. Goddamn, true. New Day, fucking A.
Because everyone's still together.
Judgment Day. Like we've been planting all these seeds of breakups for fucking 3 years now. We haven't gotten a single one. So fuck. Yeah, you're right. But I did like that. I thought that whole segment was fucking awesome. The small but really impactful promos from each. I mean, the Street Profits was longer, right? And I thought it was great. Everything that they were saying was good. And I just feel like in a lot of the promos that we've been getting lately, it's like it's all just fucking truths.
Yeah.
Like everybody except for DIY, like them coming out just they're full of shit, but that's them, heels, right? Yeah, exactly. That's them playing that heel card to the fucking T and perfectly.
Yeah.
But the other three, Motor City Machine Guns coming out being like, so your guys' point of getting a rematch is because they didn't beat you? That's weird.
That's us.
We're on the same thing. But then the camera pans to the Street Profits and you got fucking is it Angelo or D'Angelo?
Angelo Dawkins.
Angelo Dawkins. I was thinking D'Angelo Hawkins. That's not his name. Angelo Dawkins is like that whole thing, because I'm like, that's true too. Like they were in that fucking ladder match, TLC match. Did they pin them? No, but they did beat them technically in that match.
Yep.
So it's like Motor City Machine Guns. I see their side of it. We're like, you guys haven't pinned us for anything.
It just keeps this tag team world all together.
But then you get the fucking White Six involved here. It's like, what is happening? Because like Uncle Howdy's involved, Eric Rowan's involved. And then you have what are the others? Joe Gacy
and Dexter
Loomis. I feel like to me it would be those two would be the ones that would be the tag team to go for the tag titles.
Yeah, I could see that.
Right? Like I don't know. I just feel like that would be that.
What if you just get two different tag teams from Wyatt Six?
And we just turn this into like a fucking 6-team tag team tornado tag fucking TLC Hell in a Cell cage match. I don't fucking know.
I'll be here for it.
Or a fucking elimination chamber tag match.
Oh, there you go.
That's never happened before.
They've done it before.
It has happened before.
Yes.
When the fuck did that happen?
It was.
Was it during the time that it was the dark? It was the dark time. Was it the dark ages of wrestling?
It was a badass match.
I'm sure it was. Was it the main roster?
Yeah, it was the main roster.
What?
It was.
So it was like there were 4 teams in the cells, and then 2 teams started.
I think they did one for the women's too. Go back and watch because both of them were great.
That's such a cool idea. Damn, I thought I was being original for a second. I guess not.
Nope.
But anyways, but that would be that. I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't know the whole fucking point of this talking point. I don't know what's happening with the Wyatt Six. I don't know what the angle is. It seems a little odd to me, and this would be the one thing I would say in a negative kind of light, I guess, if you want to take it that way. I don't think it's necessarily negative. It's just more, I'm curious as to where it's going. I think having this group go for just the tag titles is kind of like,
I think
kind
it's
of
just
a
the starting
letdown.
point.
And that's what I was just about to say was, if this is just like, if we get to the point where it's like Gacy and Loomis are the tag titles, are the tag champs, Nikki Cross is either in the women's WWE or the US title picture and takes that. Rowan is the fucking US champion. Like after, say, Jacob Fatu does finally drop a match and lose the title, and that's going to bump him to the world title picture, right? But then you end up with Uncle Howdy in the world title picture.
That'd
you have
cool.
this whole fucking faction has gold. Correct me if I'm wrong again here. I feel like that would be the first time we've ever had that to that extent. I think Evolution's the closest.
Evolution
maybe
would be
DX.
I think it was Evolution.
Because Evolution definitely had IC, tag, and the world.
Tag.
But they didn't have a women's
DX had world
gold,
and tag.
and probably
Maybe European.
probably women's with China.
No, because
No,
I don't think so.
no.
No.
So that's where I was wondering. So that would be the first time then that we would see one faction with all gold on one show.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Right? And I mean, it can't be all gold, obviously, because there's 2 women's. But
Alexa.
fuck! fucking A. I just saw yeah, fuck, it could happen. Alexa Bliss wins Money in the Bank, takes the world title,
Joins the group.
Nikki Cross is the women's US, and then you have all the other titles on the other dudes.
Yep.
That would be fucking sick. And then you have the White Sixers running SmackDown. That would be fucking dope.
That would be cool. That would be awesome.
And what a fucking homage to Bray Wyatt, dude. Mm-hmm. Just, man, every time you talking about it last week made me choke up a little bit when I was listening to the episode.
Choking up.
It was, dude. It was so emotional. And I had to go back and rewatch it because I'm not as involved with all of it as you are. I didn't know it was Bray's birthday.
I didn't.
So I was curious. I was like, what was that? Because it's usually a lantern, right? That they like, and he blows it out. I was like, what the fuck is that? Because I didn't know, so it didn't connect with me originally. Like, oh, that's a fucking birthday cake.
Yeah.
So then when I heard you, and I was like, what? I went back and watched it. I was like, fuck. Holy shit, dude. So it's just everything. They need to do this group right because everything about this group is literally homage to Bray Wyatt. Mm-hmm. And that means something to a lot of fucking people.
For sure. So a lot of the superstars too.
Yeah, exactly.
Not just fans.
So yeah. So like I said, I don't know where it's going. There's a million options.
As long as they give them direction. That's what I want.
Yeah, give them direction.
They didn't have direction before.
Yeah.
After a hot intro to us.
Yeah. After they ended with American Made.
Yeah.
Then they went on to the Karrion Kross Miz thing, which was entertaining because of the Miz.
Yeah.
But then when that ended, then they went away, and now they're back and they're doing this tag tip, which is fucking dope. Yeah. But just they gotta push it. And they got to do it well, and they got to do it right. Next thing, the men's fucking Money in the Bank qualifying triple threat match was amazing.
It was so good.
Andrade, Carmelo, we've seen that a ton, obviously, last summer with the fucking like five match.
7.
Yeah, best of 7. Yeah. And then you had fucking Jacob Fatu into this fucking match, and I think this match, and I legitimately, I figured Jacob Fatu wasn't going to win this, unfortunately, because he would be amazing in that fucking match.
Yeah.
But so would the other two. And so I was like, I legit don't know who's going to win between Carmelo and Andrade.
Yeah.
And I really thought it was going to be Carmelo because of the Miz and all the buildup that they've been doing with this. So now I'm like, where the fuck is this going? And I feel like this is quickly going to lead to...
Maybe Melo goes face and...
Miz and Melo feud.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Because it just... At first, it felt like they were going to be a tag team.
Yeah.
But that hasn't...
They've had one match.
Come to fruit. Not even as a tag team?
Yeah, it was against R-Truth and I forget who, but it was when R-Truth did his own pin.
That's right. Yeah.
And he tried to tag in Miz.
Yeah. But... It's just I don't know. We need to get into that. The match was it was awesome. It was really good. It was a really good match. And just those three fucking working together, the chemistry in that ring was amazing.
It was so good. Jacob, we've said it over. Jacob he's top 3 stars right now.
It's not very often. And this is just again my not so great wrestling memory, right? And we've talked about that. You will be able to do that. You'll be able to probably immediately counter this. But for me, in my mind, there's not many times I've seen people just blatant go for a moonsault and somebody moves out of the way and they just fucking eat it straight to the fucking canvas. The most common in my memory is Kurt Angle. Because that would happen multiple times. He'd fucking do that shit off a cage, and just fucking eat the mat.
Yeah,
and that was what that was what popped in my memory. That it jogged my memory of that because Jacob fucking went for that, and I was like, oh, he fucking went. He fucking hit.
Big tree fall.
I feel like most of the time when people move out of the way of moonsaults, they land on their feet.
Yeah.
More often than not, at least in the most recent years. I'm sure there's other moments and there's
Chad
other things.
Chad's
probably done it, but still, you know what I'm saying? Like
Kurt Angle Jr.
Yeah, right. And again, you don't need to go fucking fact check and go look up. Oh, this happened a timeline of when they've done
Ryan,
it.
you're wrong.
Because I know I am. I know it's happened. But I'm just saying, just to put it into perspective, it doesn't happen that often. And for a dude Jacob Fatu's size to just fucking eat a fucking moonsault straight to the fucking... Oh my God. I feel like it just adds to the idea that he fucking hits that so well.
He does. He just...
Like so well, because he hit not on a person, just the fucking ring. He hit that beautifully, and I don't know. It's just everything about them in this fucking match is great. I thought the ending of the match was I thought it was really well done with like him hitting the moonsault and then Solo getting up and being like, do the moonsault. And he's like, the fuck are you talking about? I just did it. That type of thing. And then it all just led to the breakdown of the match. And then ultimately Andrade coming out on top. And Andrade in this match, I love because like now they're pushing Andrade, at least in this big moment match. Yeah. Right. Whether he's going to win it or not, who knows? Like I feel like the men's might be the most up in the air.
Honestly,
but I mean the women's is fucking up in the air too. Like my
gut says one of the newbies, but then Alexa Bliss is
really
who I want to win.
Same, and that's exactly what I was just about to say. Is my gut says, I guess it's kind of the opposite because my gut is like Alexa Bliss because that's who I want to win. I think that's who should win, but they have both Roxanne Perez and Julia in this match, and it's like. Fuck, are they
potentially Stephanie Vacure?
Potentially, yeah.
She's in the women's qualifier.
Oh, she is in the women's qualifier. Okay, I didn't even see who's in that match. I missed that.
I didn't catch the third person, but it's Liv, Stephanie, and someone else.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, I was just like, okay, yeah. It's I don't know. That whole match was great. Andrade winning, I love it. I would have loved it if it was Carmelo. I would have loved it if it was Jacob Fatu. Yeah, you know. So like they were doing good things there. Yeah. And finally, just the whole kind of ending to the show was the final talking point. I wrote specifically. Polishing the Peacemaker? No, I was laughing so fucking hard. What, are you going to go polish his Peacemaker? And then they both just, fuck this. And they start rolling.
Dropped the mic.
It was fucking great. I originally, all I wrote was Cody's promo, though. Yeah. Because I did that before he brought Jay out. Because I was like, oh, he's bringing Jay out. Cool. And I was like, Cody's promo is fucking fire. Mm-hmm. But then the whole rest of the segment happened. And I was like, this entire fucking exit was great. Yeah. Everything was great. All four of them on the mic. Fantastic. Logan shined in this.
He really
did.
And
it's funny because literally yesterday I just read an article saying how I forget who it was, like who it was by, but saying how like this specific pundit or whoever it is doesn't think that this WWE superstar's mic skills match his in-ring abilities, and they were talking about Logan. Mm-hmm. They're saying that his mic skills are like far below what it is in the ring, and to a point, I agree, right? Because I do think he has like there's moments where he's been pretty good on the mic. I don't think he's ever been really good on the mic. Yeah, like I don't think there's a single time where you would like necessarily point out where it's like, oh no, he's fucking cooked super. Like he was amazing on the mic here. It's always been like, yeah, that was solid, or that didn't land very well. Yeah. And I think last night was the first step in the right direction. I still don't think I would put him like, you know, because it was once. Yeah. Where I that was the best we've ever seen him on the microphone, in my opinion. Yeah. And to do it in the ring with specifically Cody and Cena, because Jay is getting better and better and better and better and better, but he has still obviously not been like, he's not the top-notch guy on the mic either. But he is improving and improving and improving. So to be in the mic or in the ring with those three and be able to hold your own on the mic, I was like, fuck yeah, it was awesome. Yeah. And then the fucking quip from Cody there, and then just the way it all ends, and then to see Cody and Jay both standing in the ring holding the titles was super cool. It really was. Also, what do you think the chances are that we see Cody turn on Jay and hit Jay with the Crossroads?
I don't know if it happens now, but I could see it, and it was just weird that Cody brought up Rock and he's still offering to sell his soul. And I thought that part was a little like that out of left field.
Then so did I. Yeah. Because I was like, That's weird that he's the one that literally brought up that it's still on the table.
Yeah.
So there's that. And then this was something that could very easily been just like brushed over as just like, look at this guy, he's awesome. Mm-hmm. But when Jay went back for the second round of his theme song and got up on the rope again, Cody's leaning on the ropes and he's just kind of smiling and he's just kind of nodding his head side to side. I was like, is he jealous?
Ooh, maybe.
You know what I mean? And how many fucking times, like the entirety of the Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre feud, like the build up to that, nobody saw coming.
Yeah.
And then they went back through and rehashed everything. And we were like, they've been planting seeds for this for fucking 7 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like none of us saw that coming. Like none of us expected that. It was totally out of left field to us. And then they read it and we're like, no, it's been right in front of our faces this entire time. I'm like, now I feel like I'm like fucking detective. Like every episode, I'm like, what am I missing? And could this be one of those? Like the fucking Orton standing behind Cody things that we still haven't seen come to fruit. You know, like there's so many things.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there because I'm like the fact that he did bring up the fucking selling of the soul again, unprompted, unnecessarily, out of nowhere.
Yeah. And
then it was just kind of like I feel like it could be seen as, I'm really proud of this guy. This is fucking awesome for him. Or just kind of shaking it off like, oh, I'm going to fucking end you type of thing. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it. I don't know.
That would be crazy.
That would be fucking wild.
That would be fucking wild. No, it was a great close to the show,
Yeah,
I thought,
it was awesome.
overall. Just polish your Peacemaker, man.
It's fucking awesome. Anyways, that brings us to the banger of the week. Timmy, what do you got for us?
This one, I really wanted to give to the main event, the triple threat between
on
Carmelo.
On
Carmelo
SmackDown. Okay.
On SmackDown. I thought that was good, but I didn't. I'm giving it to Javon Evans, Ray Phoenix versus Legado del Fantasma.
Dude.
Not only...
Are you fucking kidding me? Tag match on SmackDown, Javon Evans. That's literally what I wrote.
Let me tell you why, because it was a banger of a match.
It was
so
fucking
good.
amazing.
But it also did so much for storyline wise too. It
a ton
drives the fatal 4-way between Ethan Page, Javon Evans, Ray Phoenix, and Lucicero, I believe is the name. And then also gets Legado del Fantasma a win, which they sorely needed because they also got a match at Worlds Collide coming up. So
yeah, the 6-man.
Yeah, so it did so much. And the match cooked. So this is why I gave it the banger of the week.
Yeah. I kind of went, so I put that down after I watched that match. I had another match earlier in the night that I'm totally spacing on right now, but I had another one written down and then that happened. I was like, nope. I was like, that's fucking amazing. But then after all was said and done, the match I originally had, which is funny because you originally had the main event of SmackDown. I originally had the main event of Raw. I had the triple threat Money in the Bank match between Seth, Sammy, and Finn. Because that match was fucking so amazing too.
Yeah.
But I also like this kind of more runner-up-ish, and it's because we've kind of shit on SmackDown, and like I think rightfully so for the last few weeks. Every match that was on the card last night was good, if not cooked.
Yeah, no,
every match. There wasn't a match that was a letdown last night on that card. And that's the first time in a while that we've had a SmackDown, like since a couple weeks, 2 weeks, I think, before Mania.
Yeah.
Maybe that we've had a SmackDown that was like truly fucking just like from start to finish.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
And with the worst match of the night being the opening match, the triple threat between
solid.
Jade, Nia, and Naomi, which, like we already covered, was like the best outcome that I think either of us would have asked for, with it being those three in the ring together with everything we've covered on them before. Right. So like, just want to throw it out because we have shit on SmackDown a lot. And again, like I said, I do think it was deserved. I think it's rightfully done, but the entire card was fucking solid. A lot of story driving, a lot of great, good backstage segments that led to other things and planted seeds for other things. And all of the matches, the actual in-ring work and the actual like physical match themselves were all fucking like I said, good to all the way up to fucking top notch. So
Yeah.
it was a great show from start to finish. First time we've seen one of the 3-hour SmackDowns where we've been able to say that. So
for sure.
moving on, we got the belts question of the week. It's a two-parter. I posed both of these. And the first one is, because we got Money in the Bank next week, I just wanted to say, like, what is your favorite Money in the Bank moment? Like, what is your favorite memory from a Money in the Bank match? Obviously, like we've already alluded to the fact that like those matches are, kind of pinnacle matches. It was originally for the first few years. It was that they were matches done at WrestleMania. And then they got so big to the point where now it's its own PLE, which we'll get to here in a second as well. But just what's your favorite one? What is your favorite moment? Like, and by moment, I'm thinking more like spot. If that's how you took it. If that's not how you took it and you have something else, do whatever. But
it's not, because I can't think of a specific spot. Like I was trying to think of it. There's just so many cool moments, but my favorite just overall is Mr. Kennedy winning the case and just his like shaking, screaming at WrestleMania 23. I was a big Mr. Kennedy fan from the beginning. And thought, because he was the third overall winner of the Money in the Bank, I was like, Edge took off with it. I forget who won it the second year. But regardless, it was big things, and Mr. Kennedy was really in the prime of a lot of good big storylines at that time.
Yeah,
and it didn't work out great for him, but that moment was etched in my mind. I was super excited for him to win it. Yeah, that would be mine. What about yours?
I went with, and this is probably not going to be shocking to you, but it is also kind of interesting because I didn't realize it. But when we rewatched that TikTok that Nathan sent us of the where it's like the mugging and all that.
Oh, yeah,
it's like the 4 different people come out and they're doing the things.
Yeah.
The very last one is him doing Jeff, right? But the scene that it cut to in the thing was this. It was the moment that I was like, oh, what the fuck? And it's the Jeff Hardy leg drop onto Edge through the ladder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it was one of those where it was like Jeff he was in the ring on top of the tall fucking the 20-foot ladder or whatever it is, and he could have easily just kind of turned around and grabbed the briefcase.
Yeah.
But he said, nah, fuck it. I'm going to do me, what I usually do. And he hit the fucking leg drop down onto Edge, snapped the ladder in half. They both went through it. Like, I feel like that's for like my memory, that's like the first time I remember seeing somebody go through a ladder.
Yeah.
Was that moment.
Snapping in half.
Yeah, snapping like everything. Like that was the first time I remember seeing that. And so I just feel like it was such a big moment. And again, it's fucking Jeff. There's so many moments between the Hardys, C&E, the Dudleys that all just live rent free in my head constantly. Yeah. And that was one of them. And that's awesome. that was the spot that I went with.
Nice.
Second part of this question, which is staying on theme with Money in the Bank, is, and I was just curious what your thoughts on it are do you wish Money in the Bank would move back to WrestleMania, or do you think it is best as its own PLE?
I wouldn't like it moved to WrestleMania, but I do want it not as its own PLE. I would like it on SummerSlam, especially now that it's going to 2 nights. Put one on each night of the show. And the reason why I don't like it as its own PLE is because I don't like the gimmick PLEs. I don't like Hell in the Cell PLE because not every match is Hell in the Cell. Not every match is Money in the Bank. Right? So I agree. Like Night of Champions works because you can defend every champion on the show.
Yeah. Yep.
That works for me.
Exactly.
Fatal 4-Way.
King and Queen of the Ring. I'm happy that's not going, or as far as we know so far, it's not going to be its own PLE this year because, again, it's the same idea, and I 100% agree. It's not that it shouldn't be its own thing. It should be its own tournament.
Yeah.
right? That spans the course of weeks like it does,
Yeah.
but then it doesn't need to culminate at its own PLE. It could culminate at a PLE,
Yeah.
but it doesn't need to be titled King, Queen of the Ring.
Yeah.
Right? And so yeah, I agree. But I do want it moved back to WrestleMania.
Okay.
And the reason being what that contract means. Mm-hmm. They have a year to cash in.
Yeah.
The calendar year for wrestling starts and ends with WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So it just makes sense, I feel like.
But
It just makes sense. If you do it at SummerSlam, now you're running through from SummerSlam.
Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Summer. You get all four.
I know,
I mean,
but
you do the same.
Yeah,
with
yeah, you do with
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania, and I just feel like if you're having something that is like you have a year to use this, it just makes sense for it to start and end at WrestleMania. That's just my personal thing. I don't disagree with you that SummerSlam would also be a good place for it, but I really liked when it was its own thing at WrestleMania. Plus, I feel like in the year since, and I know it wasn't immediately after, but like in the year since, like it's kind of seemed like it's been replaced by to a point. And I know it's not actually on the card, but the Andre the Giant Battle Royal is kind of like that gimmick thing that they do now, right? Because it's not. That's not at WrestleMania.
No, it's on SmackDown.
That's a
now.
SmackDown right
Yeah.
before WrestleMania, right? So it's just, and that like we've already talked about that. We covered that, and I'm just like, but I don't know. I do wish that it wasn't its own PLE though. So we can at least agree on that it doesn't need to be its own PLE, because I agree that the gimmicky PLEs. I want to get back to the fucking dope No Mercy, Backlash, No Way Out, like Unforgiven, all these fucking badass names for fucking PLEs, and not have them be gimmick themed.
Yeah.
Let the fucking Hell in a Cell match pop up when it needs to pop up based on storyline.
Yeah.
Not, the Hell in a Cell PLE's coming up, so now we know this storyline's going to lead to one.
Yeah.
Right? Like, let them happen organically. And, like, Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest, if that needed to be finished in a Hell in a Cell, it could have been instead of a steel cage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that type of thing. But it couldn't, because they're not going to run a Hell in a Cell match opposite of the Hell in a Cell PLE.
Yeah.
Right? So I feel like it limits their ability to do certain matches.
Agreed.
When they have the gimmicky ones. So,
Agreed.
anyways.
I think SummerSlam could just use the rub though. Like WrestleMania is its spectacle. SummerSlam used to be big.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel as big as it used to.
Yeah.
And so I think that would help it. That was my reasoning behind that.
That brings us over to
Blockbusters. We got movies.
We got movies.
We got
a couple movies to talk about. First one we're starting up is the one I threw on here. It is called Good Fortune. The synopsis of this is: in good fortune, a well-meaning but rather inept angel named Gabriel needles in the lives of a struggling gig worker and a wealthy venture capitalist. The cast of this is Keanu Reeves, Aziz Ansari, Seth Rogen, Keke Palmer, and Sandra Oh. The release date will be October 17th of this year, and it will come out in theaters.
Dude, great to see Aziz Ansari back.
I know.
love the dude.
I was like, fuck yeah. When I first saw like the thing, I was like, clicking on that and watching this trailer. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was like, I saw the picture of Keanu Reeves, and it said, in Aziz Ansari's new film, and I was like, fuck yes, I'm watching this. And then I didn't even realize, I was like, Seth Rogen's in this, fuck yeah. And then I was like, Keke Palmer and Sandra Oh also, I was like, they're both great. So
It's just comedy gold.
Yep.
Comedy is back, and you'll get to it later on. But
I love that Keanu Reeves is the one playing this kind of ditzy angel.
Budget guardian angel.
Yeah, budget guardian angel, literally, like, right? And so I feel like it just fits, because you very easily could have flopped roles on this in multiple ways.
Yeah.
And you could have had Seth Rogen being the angel. Everyone would have been like, yeah, that makes sense. You could have had Aziz Ansari playing this angel. Would have made sense.
Yeah.
And you could have had Keanu play either of the other two, the struggling gig worker or the venture capitalist, and it all would have made sense. Having Keanu Reeves be the one playing this angel, fucking great. It's perfect. I love it, and I feel like it's like a new kind of take on letting Keanu Reeves explore that Bill and Ted kind of angle of his abilities as an actor, right? So I'm excited for it a lot.
You know it's going to be funny when it's like a 30, 40 second teaser trailer, and you're laughing throughout
Already
the whole
laughing.
thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It is so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Yep. Looking forward to it.
The Thursday Murder Club. This one just got posted. I believe the trailer just came out yesterday or the day before. Synopsis. 4 irrepressible retirees spend their time solving cold case murders for fun, but their casual sleuthing takes a thrilling turn when they find themselves with a real whodunit on their hands, based on Richard Osman's best-selling novel. Cast is Helen Mirren, Pierce Brosnan, Ben Kingsley. Release date is 8/28/25 on Netflix. What'd you think?
I'm excited for it. I love the entire cast, and I feel like this is going to be to a point, and not like a direct knockoff or anything like that. But I'm just like something to compare it to in my mind is Only Murders in the Building.
That's funny you say that. On my note here, it says it looks like if Only Murders in a Building meets Red had a baby.
Yeah, seriously,
This is what
right?
this would be.
And yeah, so I'm here for this 100%. The trailer was funny, had me like, oh god damn, this is gonna be good. So I'm stoked for this one though too.
Yeah, I love a good murder whodunit.
Yeah,
movie show, and the cast is phenomenal in this. So
and it's gonna be interesting to see Helen Mirren and Pierce Brosnan play these characters coming off of the first like 2 episodes I think I've seen of Mobland.
Oh yeah,
where they're the head of that family together as husband and wife. So it's gonna be funny to see them then play these characters where it's such opposite fucking things, right? I'm fucking stoked for it. Brings us over to our series portion of the Blockbusters.
Yes, it does.
I put this one on here. Synopsis: it's Smoke. That's the name of it.
He wants to smoke.
With that. The name of it, Smoke. The synopsis is: Smoke follows an arson investigator who begrudgingly teams up with a police detective as they race to stop. This is arsonists. Supposed to say 2 arsonists. Stop 2 arsonists ignites a twisted game of secrets and suspicions. The cast of this is Taron Egerton, Jernay Smollett, Greg Kinnear, and John Leguizamo. The release date will be June 27th of this year, so in 27 days from now.
Yeah.
Right? 28 days? Because today's the 31st.
27 and a half.
Yeah, 27 and a half. Yeah, sure. And it will come out on Apple Plus. So already I'm like, this show's going to be fucking great.
Yeah.
I didn't, again, like I think we both tried to do. Typically, I did not read the synopsis before I watched the trailer for this. I just saw, I was like, it's called Smoke, Taron Egerton. Cool, I'm going to watch it. I watched it. And goddamn, took a turn towards the end of that trailer that I was not expecting.
Yeah, I agree.
Holy shit. And this, I know it says like ignites a twisted game of secrets and suspicions, but that could mean fucking anything.
Yeah.
So you really get the old feel here that Taron Egerton, who is the arson investigator, might be the one doing this, which is kind of in a way a throwback to Backdraft.
Yeah.
The movie, right? Because that was a kind of similar premise. Mm-hmm. So hopefully it's not pulling too much from that. But regardless, the show looked great. Taron Egerton in this role looks fucking fantastic. So I'm very excited.
Yeah, no, I agree. Apple Plus is just pumping out some good product right now. Mm-hmm. Huge fan of movies and shows with the fire department, like 911, Chicago Fire, and then Backdraft was a big one that I liked. And so just seeing another take on it is awesome. But then I wasn't ready for the twist at the end. I hope it's not him, but like, damn, do they make it really?
They really make you think it is. So it's like, holy shit.
Damn, he has a creepy side to him.
Yeah, he does.
Especially in that last, like when they're laying in the bed and just staring. And I was just like, oh. We got Countdown. An LAPD officer joins a secret task force to investigate a suspicious murder, but uncovers a sinister plot that requires the team to unite and save millions in the city. Cast is Jensen Ackles, Eric Dane, Jessica Camacho, Release date, June 25th, 2025, and it's out on Prime Video. I'm a huge fan of Jensen Ackles, been a fan since Smallville and Supernatural. He brings just a quirky comedy to it, and you can definitely see it in this trailer. And then he looks like a bona fide action star, too, at the same time, and that's what this show is leaning into. The show feels like it got high stakes with, Chernobyl potential going on here. Absolutely. So it should be a fun show. I'm really excited for this one.
Yeah, same. I'm looking forward to it. Prime Video's, Apple Plus is like the fucking king tier right now for me on shows and movies that they're putting out, because everything I've watched from them is fucking amazing. But Prime Video has a lot of good shit that they're putting out as well. So hopefully this is just another one to add to that tally. I'm excited for this one as well. Bringing us over to our May binge cap, our special segment of this this week's this week, right? Yeah, special segment this week. It's the one we always do at the last episode of a month. So we do our binge cap to just recap what all the shit we've been watching and ingesting into our media minds.
And what better way to get it on the last day of the month?
Exactly. Right?
Literally.
True.
We pushed it right to the end.
We had the entire month to be able to talk about here, and boy, have we.
So I watched some things. So just going through the movies I watched The Thunderbolts twice in theater. Watched the movie Heavyweights with Ben Stiller. Old classic Disney movie, and it's been a long time since I've seen that one, and just had a hankering for it. So watched that. I watched Fountain of Youth, the new Apple Plus movie with John Krasinski. I thought that was really, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good.
Okay, I was curious.
Didn't have great reviews on the Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it doesn't. I saw that it was that was an Apple one that bombed, if you will.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We covered it on here. The trailer looked good. I like the cast. I haven't watched it yet, but you just said it, so I was going to ask, what do you think of it?
I think it was good. I think I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Good.
We watched Mystery Men and Bodies, Bodies for special segments earlier this month.
True.
Going on to the shows, I completed You Season 5. Finished that season. It was so good. I don't know if you finished it, but holy hell, that was a ride. Finished 4 seasons. We did that on a special segment, but I did complete the show. Watched season 5 of Modern Family, season 8 of How I Met Your Mother, and I just got 1 episode left each of The Studio and Your Friends and Neighbors that I need to catch up on, and those seasons will be complete. So
nice.
That is my May binge cap.
Hell yeah.
What do you got?
I'm going to start it off with my movies as well. Me and Lindsay both watched, together we watched Nona's.
Okay,
the Vince Vaughn one.
How was that?
It was amazing. It was fantastic.
It was good.
A great movie. Like it is from start to finish. It's gotcha. You're invested in it. It's funny. It's emotional. It's real. It's raw. Like everything. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. So definitely recommend. Recommend that. That would be a good one where I think
going on the June binge cap.
Yeah, I think you might be able to get Haley to get away from her buck.
Let's do it. She's 55 deep in from the year. God damn it! I need to get her off the book.
She's too damn smart for us. Stupid folk that don't read. God damn it. We need to bring her down a notch.
She works and does school and reads 55 books. Damn it!
What the fuck? Watch something. Dumb yourself down a little bit. All right. I too watched Thunderbolts. I only seen it once in theaters. It just happened to be together. I too watched Thunderbolts, or the New Avengers, if you will. Spoiler. I have also watched Shrek 1 and 2 with my daughter, along with, once again, Sing. got that bitch just keep popping back up. It's
On
gonna
the
probably be on.
rotators.
It's gotta be on our Bingecap every fucking month. And then I got quite a few when it comes to series. Finished Shifting Gears.
Okay.
Finally. But finished that. I thought that I think the show's fucking great. I think it's awesome. So excited that it did get picked up for season 2. And I think it's already in production. So I'm excited about that. Also finished season 5. That was, like you said, it was a fucking roller coaster. Jesus fucking Christ.
Holy hell.
And I think I'm really good and content with how it ended. Because it was the series ending, and I think they did it. I think they did it really well.
Yeah.
And there were some like big like moments where you're like, what? And I don't even mean with like just the crazy shit that happened. I just mean like people who pop back up where you're like, oh fuck, dude, you just pulled from like season 2. Like what the fuck? So that was cool. And then we finished. Sad face for now. We finished Found season 2. I've talked about that a lot on
you
here.
like that one a
One
lot.
of mine and Lindsay's like favorite shows right now. One of, unfortunately, the ones that NBC just canceled because of their fucking NBA package, which I think is absolutely fucking dog shit. But to make room for them to fucking show basketball games, they cut a bunch of fucking... It was like their number 1 fucking show. Mm-hmm. And they canceled it. It's fucking mind-blowing. So
We live in an age where studios can pick it up, though. So
I know.
Fingers crossed for you.
And that is of like when that initial cut happened, the 5 shows, I don't fucking know what they all were. I don't watch any of the other ones that got cut. I didn't care, and it doesn't matter. But there were 5 shows that they announced got canceled. This was like the only one that was like continued to be said that it was like, it has been said that like Warner Bros. Studios or whoever it is it's a WB, so I'm assuming it's Warner Bros. Was like planning to shop it to other platforms and stuff. So I am hopeful there that it will get picked up for season 3 because there's so many fucking loose ends in this fucking show. Yeah. So it's kind of a bummer. Started and finished the 4 seasons.
Okay. Did you end up liking it? I
really did. Yeah. I really did. I thought I liked it a lot. I thought the ending, I thought it set it up perfectly for a season 2. I'm going to be interested to see how it keeps going. Yeah. Especially with the fact that it does cover 4 seasons of the year. Yeah. You know, like when you first hear that, you're thinking like resort or a hotel or something, but like this is literally covering 4 different seasons throughout the year, essentially 2 episodes a piece.
2 episodes per,
right? And so it's going to be interesting with the way it ended to see that growth and development over the course of another year, right? Because that's a pretty fucking big bombshell. That was the penultimate episode. I was like, what the fuck? And then that at the end of that one, I was like, what the fuck? So yeah, I really liked it. I thought that the show was really good. I really enjoyed it, and I'm really excited for a second season to it.
Hell yeah.
I finished The Studio.
Okay.
Again, I've talked about it a lot, so I'm not going to go into detail. I fucking love this show. I think it's amazing. I think what it's doing is fucking awesome. And again, Apple Plus, fuck yeah. Pete Holmes stand-up on Netflix. It's a stand-up from 2023, but it like recently just got onto Netflix. Oh, okay. I don't know if you know who Pete Holmes is, but have you ever seen the College Humor Batman? The Batman funny. He's Batman.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so you've probably seen him in stand-up.
Gotcha.
Or like clips and stuff on TikTok or whatever, depending on what your algorithm is, I guess. But I'd be kind of shocked if you haven't seen him somewhere before. Like you would probably look him up and be like, oh yeah, I know this guy. He's fucking hilarious. And his facial expressions and stuff are just so fucking great. And he's hilarious. So definitely recommend that. It was great.
Yeah.
And then 3 that I started but have not finished. Oh, sorry. Bluey's on repeat in my fucking house too. So that's that. And that is it. Bluey's a good show. Like Bluey's one where I will catch myself. Like we'll put it on in the morning. Lainey's watching it, eating her little morning snack, drinking her water. And then like she'll get down and start playing with toys. And then I'll find myself, I'm still just sitting there watching Bluey by myself as a 31-year-old man just watching Bluey. I'm like, oh yeah, that's fucking good. I'm just like,
Damn it.
I'm not even fucking. She's not even paying attention anymore. I'm just fucking hooked on Bluey. So like, Bluey is actually a really good kids show. It's very like educational. It's really good. It's very well done. But anyways, 3 shows that I have started, have not finished yet. I started Your Friends and Neighbors. I think I'm halfway through the 2nd episode. I like it so far. I think it's great. Started Mobland again. I think I'm 2 episodes into that.
Okay.
And then I'm 2 episodes into, which is my favorite of those 3 so far, Paradise.
Oh, yeah, on Hulu.
Yeah.
I told you.
That fucking show is good, dude.
That was a recommendation from
yes,
my
it
coworker,
was.
Brittany.
I was like, Your Friends and Neighbors and Paradise were both recommendations from you for me. So I started both those, and I'm hooked on Paradise. It's hard for me. It's difficult for me to find time to watch things sometimes. But when I have, that's the one I have been going to. Outside of the other things that I finished this, because that's like I kind of do in that order where I'm like I'm getting close. I got to finish things. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my binge cap. Quite a bit on there for May. I think that might be my best month cap so far.
I think so.
That brings us over to our final talking point of the day. It is our Blockbusters question of the week. I also posed this question to you, and I think it's a good one.
I gotta say, I hate you. You hate the like memory questions where I make you think on a history. I'm not very creative, I guess, when it comes to thinking. But
yeah,
regardless, read it off. I came up with what I think is a good idea. So.
Perfect, and I love it. That's what we're looking for. So the question here is, what is a premise for a comedy movie and/or show that you can think of that would be a really interesting and original idea that you would love to see make it to the screen, big or small?
I really like this idea.
Oh, hold on. Can I? I forgot to preface this with what I wrote on the agenda, but I didn't put on here. Comedies are back.
And I alluded to it earlier.
Yes, you did.
I laid you
up
for this.
That's why I know. That's why I was like, "Fuck!" I missed that. I want to make sure because I don't know why I didn't copy that part of it onto here. But yeah, I just want comedies are back. We have now covered multiple comedies that are going to be coming out into the movies. We've covered multiple comedy shows that are going to be coming out as well. So that's what kind of led me to this idea. So, anyways, with that in mind, this is the question. What do you got?
All right, I'm going to just kind of read through my synopsis, my pitch.
Yep, love
for
it.
this.
I absolutely love it because I kind of have the same thing.
All right, so this is a dark comedy.
Oh, I love it already.
The premise of this movie and or show, I think it would lean more into a show, is the growing through the years of what would become a notorious serial killer. Growing up, this to become serial killer is just a normal person, but weird coincidental accidents are happening where it looks like he's the one, he or she is killing these people. And when the first one happens, they have to go and cover this up because they don't want to be caught, even though they didn't do it. And then it just keeps happening over and over again throughout the years. And then the overall arc of this is, can this person save themselves where they don't buy into the serial killer-ism of it all and end up being a good person, or do they go into that evil level and just become that serial killer?
That's fucking awesome. I love that idea. That would be such an entertaining thing, and especially if it were to like the series were to, because like you said, do you think it would lean more towards the show? And I agree with you. I totally think that would, because it's like I feel like each season would like kind of like Only Murders in the Building, again, not to fucking bring that back up, but it's very, very connectable.
Yeah.
But the idea where it's like you start with this murder and then it's kind of like a work backwards type thing, right? So it'd be almost like each season could start with this death happening and then them trying to figure out what the fuck happened or how to cover it up, or that could be like the first one, and then like each season is like a different coincidence thing, but that just keeps kind of feeding into, throw Dexter out there, dark tendencies and a potential dark passenger type thing, right?
Yeah.
And then like if the series were to wrap without you actually finding out which way it goes.
Yeah.
Like the series could end on a cliffhanger that was I think that's the perfect premise for it to end and be like people would be happy with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and I just want to say the older version of this is Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
God. I think it would he's perfect at these, like, just, I don't know. That's what I picture in that role.
There's a young kid somewhere that would be perfect for the kid portion. Then Timothée Chalamet.
Oh, yeah.
As like this
is gonna be a big budget.
As like the early 20s, and then Vince Vaughn in the 40s 50s version of it. And that's the ending of it is Vince Vaughn, and you kind of end in like a scene where you just get this like different lighting on the face to where it's a smile, and like one portion of the face is like a normal smile and the other portion of the face is like a very sinister looking face, and that's how the series ends.
Like the captain in How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, literally, right? Like that type of idea. Like, and that's how it ends, is you're just like, fuck, we don't know if he's bad or good. We have no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's fucking awesome.
I thought that was a cool idea.
Yeah, that's a really cool idea. I love it. You can't hate me. You just came up with a fucking great idea.
I know it didn't, but yeah. I hate the idea of thinking of something like that for it.
Mine is also a show. Okay. I said I want a mockumentary style show again.
Okay.
Because I know there's like the spin-off of The Office that's in the works called The Paper.
Yeah, really excited for that.
Which I know I'm really excited for it too, because they dropped the picture and Oscars in it, which is cool. So there is a connection. There is a thread there where it is in the same world, which is dope. But I think the last one before what The Paper would have been Modern Family. That's a mockumentary style.
Or Parks and Rec was kind of mockumentary.
But Modern Family was the last one to end.
Okay,
it's the most recent.
Yeah.
Right? Because Parks and Rec, I don't know if it started before Modern Family necessarily, but Modern Family ran for... Yeah. I think Modern Family is the longest running mockumentary show.
12 seasons.
Right. Yeah. So,
I think maybe even more.
Yeah. I mean, it ran for a long time, right? And so I think just in recent memory, Modern Family would have been that one, and I want to say it was like 2020, 2021 maybe was the final season. So I think a mockumentary show again would be cool, but now in a different light, right? Like we got The Family, right? We got Parks and Rec.
Yeah,
literally, we got the Parks and Rec department type show for it. We got The Office. We got now The Paper coming out. I feel like 2 of those 4 are things that were like The Office. It's a paper company. A lot of the premises around that are like trying to stay relevant as a paper company in today's world. Right?
Yeah.
The Paper, the whole premise of that show is literally it's a newspaper so it's like they're trying to stay afloat. They're trying to stay relevant, right? Because it's today's world, like, you know, who the fuck reads the newspaper anymore? Like everybody gets their news on their phone. You know what I mean? Like that type of idea. So I thought another one that could be, and it's funny because I actually just had kind of a little bit of a debate and argument, which I almost put as the question of the week for this, for you, just for us to talk about yesterday at work, and it irritated me. A couple of the guys said that movie theaters are dying. And I was like, no, they're not.
No.
And I was, and they essentially were like, in 15 to 20 years, movie theaters aren't going to exist. And I was like, no, that like you're fucking wrong, like just straight up. And I actually got fucking heated about it, because I was like, no, like that's kind of idiotic. Like to a point, like, are they as big as they once were? Of course not.
No.
Are they ever going to be as big as they were? No, of course not. But I think to a point, movie theaters are coming back.
I think so.
Yeah. And like a big portion of what led to them, the downfall of them, was COVID. First off, like, yes, they were going, like there were theaters closing down and stuff, but there are also at the point where theaters were at their height, there was an overabundance of fucking movie theaters. You know, like you would have a smaller city have fucking 5 or 6 fucking theaters, right? Like within just a few mile radius of each other. It's just like, well, you don't need that many. That obviously doesn't make sense. It's like some of that stuff has closed down. But I also feel like COVID led to like just financially and economically like closure of a lot of theaters. But I do feel like theaters are on the mend. Yeah. And movie studios are doing a really big fucking push for that. Yeah. Like the show, the studio has a lot of themes that lead to that. Yeah. Right? They lend towards the idea of like, we're trying to save the movie industry from streaming because there are a lot of people in the fucking in the business that in the film business that really do look at streaming as kind of evil, right? Because it's fucking up a lot of stuff. Yeah. And so there was that whole argument there, and so kind of funny that I put this down as my answer is I want a mockumentary style show about movie theaters. And so I want it to be like a struggling small town movie theater. They're constantly fighting. They're fighting off buyout proposals. They're fighting off zoning issues. They're fighting off new construction around them. They're fighting off bigger and newer theaters and the shenanigans behind the snack counter, right? Like there's a lot of levels and layers to what that could be. Yeah. And I think it could be fucking hilarious to see just like, we go to the theater and we go up to the counter and there's just this fucking, like this has happened to us, right? Where there's just this dude that's just like, yeah, what can I get you? And then you're like, yeah, can I just get like a bucket of popcorn and a water? And it's like, I'm grabbing my own water out of the case next to me. They just have to do the popcorn. And it takes like fucking 8 minutes for them to scoop popcorn. You want butter on that? No, thanks. I'm good. Just the popcorn. And then you're sitting there like, bro, I'm missing previews right now. Let's fucking go. You know what I mean? Like, just that in and of itself is a full episode. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like there's so many things and then like I want to see the fucking manager try to run this shit and like have some fucking dipshit employees, and then there's that one that's fucking goody two shoes employee that's like employee of the month every fucking month, and there's so many things that they can do with the inside of it, and then the external, like the boss is just like fucking constantly sweating bullets because they're on the verge of collapse and they're trying to do all these things. Like, oh my God, there's so many ways to go about that I think could make it such an entertaining and interesting show. I would watch that. Yeah. And it culminates with Avengers Secret Wars, right? Because that's like going to bring everyone to the theater. I love that. I love it. But yeah, man, that's an awesome idea. Yeah, those were both fucking solid. Let's pitch our ideas to Hollywood. We should, dude. We should figure out how to do that. That would be fucking sick. Cheers, brother. Cheers, man.